I'm so excited to introduce Christina Noon to you today. So she and I met from an ad. Are you shocked? Probably not. But I'm so thankful Christina is here, and I'm so thankful that she found this ad that actually led her to join the challenge. So I'm going to introduce her to you, but I have watched this woman go from I think I need marketing to just having great success and honestly becoming a different mom, a different business owner. Like the way that she thinks and talks, like she talks like a marketer. And you know that I really believe that the best business owner doesn't win. The best speech language pathologist doesn't win. The best marketer wins. And I feel like Christina is winning because she's done some hard work. So I'm excited to share Christina with y'all today. So Christina, will you tell everyone who you are, what you do, and give them a little, like, I don't even know if you remember the ad that you found. I don't even know, but let me tell everybody who you are and just
Okay.
kind of like our journey of how we met.
Yeah. So I'm Christina. I'm a speech language pathologist. As you said, I'm a mom of two little girls, 7 and 9. And I have a small private practice that I started, probably like a year and a half ago, but I've been in speech pathology for about 11 years. Before that, I did music theater. So I
Mm.
have like a lot of different aspects to my personality. So I kind of combined it, and I 6.5 years ago started this company called Happy Talk Song and Sign. And so what that is this class for babies and their grown-ups. It's music and language enrichment, which means kind of songs, we learn sign language, we do sensory play, we just have like so much fun, connect. Like it's a great place for them to just kind of take some time and connect with their babies, to meet other parents in the same stage of life. And then I also share some tips on just how to support your baby's language, but all in a very low pressure, just really wonderful community environment. So that's my business.
So, Christina, you just made up Happy Talk Song and Sign one day.
Yes, I did.
Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. So, this is, I honestly didn't even realize, like one day you just had to say, hey, I want to create this using these skills that you had, and you just built this all on your own. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I just kind of thought to myself, because, when I was in grad school, I didn't have kids. And so, you're learning things, but it doesn't really land. And then when I had babies of my own and I was watching their development, and then
Mhm.
I had my background knowledge, I was like, this is really cool. And I just wondered if other families would be interested in learning it as well. And yeah, and like I said, I have this background in music, so it just kind of all made sense. So I just have slowly iterated and iterated, as you know.
Mhm.
You got to keep trying and adding, and then yeah, that's where I am today.
That's so awesome. Okay, so you had this speech language pathology therapy business, like where you're
That's right.
actually working with kids,
Yeah,
and then you had Happy Talk Song and Sign. So you
yeah,
had two different arms of your business,
yeah,
and you saw one of my ads. It was in March, right? Or
yeah.
February or March. Do you happen to remember, like, do you remember that?
I mean, I feel like it. Well, it must have been an ad for the challenge,
Yeah.
because I signed up for the challenge,
Yep.
and I was really in a spot, and I can't remember exactly why, but I was in a spot that I was feeling like, if I don't get some help with this, because I have the classes, and then I have also put together some um, online offers. So
Right. A
a parent
course.
course, and then a course for
Yes.
SLPs, and so I just was in this moment like, I have poured everything I can do into this thing, and I
Mm.
was feeling like it just was not working. And I thought to myself, if I don't get some help with this, I need to stop, because this is making me crazy, because I'm a smart, hardworking person, but
Mhm.
to a certain point, I knew there was something that I couldn't figure out myself, even with listening to all the podcasts under the sun.
Yes.
So that's where I was at. And so I was really waiting for someone to reach out and be like, I can personally look at your stuff and give you feedback on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was huge for me. And when you came into my life, I was like, oh my gosh. And I had honestly zero intention of buying
I know. I asked Christina, I'm like, did you plan to buy this offer at the end? She was like, no, I
No,
didn't. Like, this was just to get a little quick win and go.
that's right. That's right. I
And
was
here
like,
we are.
yeah, I signed up for VIP. I'm like, maybe I can just get all my questions into VIP and then I'll fix my business. And
And Christina, you were the last round of VIP that I did.
oh,
I know. And
yeah,
but what matters is that that's what the mastermind was built on. It was like, hey, to give that like one-on-one feedback,
yeah.
like to have my brain be able to focus real like now I only exclusively offer that one-to-one feedback in the VIP, but you experienced how valuable that time is, you
It
know?
was I mean, it just condensed
It condensed time.
years, decades of my life. I feel like because I just was like, I have this question, I have this question, and I was so ready to like get feedback. Like I think as an actor, like I just need direction sometimes, you know?
Mm.
And of all of us have our own businesses and it's not our area of expertise. So
How could it
why would
be?
we think, yeah, why would we think we can figure it out completely by ourselves and do it as well as somebody who knows, every in and out?
And it's why people now pay you to do what you do now. So Christina, one of the things that she's done, so I want to share this with everybody. So Christina had these businesses for so long. She's so hardworking, so capable, like great with kids, great with people, great communicator. Like she literally had everything. The only thing she didn't have was marketing skills. And one of the things, Christina, that you shared with me, it was I laugh now, but I'm like, wait, this is so common. Like you thought, oh yeah, if you're gonna have a business, you have to have a line item for marketing. And I remember you being like, epiphany. And it was more than just outsourcing. You were like, oh, I could just know how to do this myself. Like you were like, I just feel like you instantly saw that there was value in you having this skill.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why at the end of that week of the challenge, I was just like, that I need to do this. I have to do
Mhm.
this.
Yeah.
I owe it to myself. I mean, I've just, yeah, like I said, like just doing everything myself and knowing that with some guidance, like it didn't have to be so lonely and so hard.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, no, I saw the value in that. And like those skills like are still like now, yeah, it's just like building on
You
itself.
you can't unlearn or unhear what you've heard. So now like I feel like what you were about to say was like you're using it
Yeah,
every day. You're like
I
you feel
am.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so it's like once that software is installed in your brain, you can't uninstall it. That's one of the things my coaches said recently. She was like, it's so hard to uninstall a software. Like you now have marketing as like part of your software in your brain. So I want to ask you this before you did click the button and like jump
Mhm.
in, did you
Yeah.
have any hesitations? Like what were the stories you were telling yourself before you just said like if you had like someone on one shoulder and the other, like what was the reason not to and what was the reasons to? Like what were you telling yourself? I'd love to know.
Um, well, I mean, I think I saw the value and I like saw your value so strongly. I was like, well, if you can present, like you presenting your offer gave me confidence because I was like, you clearly know how to do this, you know? So I felt really inspired and confident. I think obviously money
Yeah.
and the price, I mean, it was. And that's the thing for, I think, a lot of people who find themselves in this, at least the online business space. Like, I feel like, and you see, it's such, you hear it in every podcast. Like, are you piecing together your, knowledge from freebies?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of us feel like we have to because we're still trying to have families and
Mhm.
pay for our lives. And so 5 grand or whatever the number is like, whoa, dude, I was not prepared to spend that money. So I think, and I'd been working at this for like 4 years in terms of the online part, and I never spent that
Oh,
amount of money one time. So that's what it was, but I got over it.
you know, it's so we're conditioned to think about how money is like something that we get in exchange for our time.
Yeah.
And so what happens is money feels like a lot because we equate it to our time. We're like, oh, $5,000. That's like a month, 2 months, 3 months of my time. Like that's how we equate it.
Hmm.
And now what I've watched from you is you paying an amount that made you uncomfortable. Like you moved Like the way that you were not missing a call. Like you showed up to everything. You asked a question each day. Like you were so in. Like it was honestly, like tell me if you disagree, but I feel like it's a gift to be put into a place where it like forces you to act like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, and you're right. I was like, okay, this is it. I'm
That's
gonna,
it.
yeah, let's go. And I'm not a person that has a hard time like really putting a lot of effort into something I'm passionate about, but it was the follow through
Mm.
that, because it's not even when it gets hard. It's almost like when the hard part is done, I'm like, maybe I'll do something else. But that money and that investment, and also the fact that I really think I found really where my passion lies in terms of my
Yeah.
newest offer, I
Yeah.
was like, the follow through, I can't just send 2 emails and say I tried. I
No,
sent
this
the
time.
full 8 emails and then I followed up because I didn't like that part. And so in my previous launches, quote unquote,
Hmm.
like I did not do the full thing because I didn't have that investment, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, in one of the episodes I just did, I shared about how if you're going to, let's say, Greece, like if you're actually going to Greece, you pay the money and you're like so excited. But then you forget when you like your bag is missing and you forgot and like the daycare is calling you from home and you're like, man, this is kind of stressful, like getting to the destination because it's a lot of work. But like
Yeah,
you still go to Greece because you know the destination is worth it. But like actually having to travel and like get delays and have to rebook your flight, like it's a lot of work. But yet, like we still go on vacation because we know that ultimately getting there will be worth it. And I feel like you
yeah,
were like, hey, I'm missing luggage and I'm doing this, but like you were like, no matter what, I'm getting to where I'm going. And you
yeah.
did.
Yeah, I
And
did.
so
I mean, I still have a ways to go, but I definitely did.
that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. Yeah, you are really just getting started. Like
Hmm.
I think about it. And one of the things I love about your story, Christina, is that most people, and I always I say this now consistently, that the only people marketing doesn't work for are the people that stop marketing. Like a lot of people, they'll market a little bit, don't get a quick, immediate win, don't get that initial adrenaline. It's kind of like it happens to us all. But we go to the gym, we stop eating the things, we do work, and we're like, where are my abs? And it's like, it's taking too long. And so we stop. And we're the only people that don't get a result is when you stop. And so watching you not stop and watching you show, because you ended up enrolling in the Marketing Matters Academy.
Hmm.
You end up and you come to every call and you ask a question every time and you implement and just watching you know in your mindset know that there's always a next move. There's always something you can do differently. Like I feel like you could come to these calls to eternity and still have a question because you're doing the work and when you're doing the work you have questions to ask, you know? So I've just loved watching you just like do the work and not give up. And I actually love that you didn't get a result absolutely immediately because I feel like it made you appreciate this awesome win that you just had so much more because you
Yeah.
have put so much time and energy into it. Would you
Yeah.
agree?
I would totally agree. And it's so true. It's tempting. I'm even launched some ads this week, and it's like for my actual in-person classes. So I have a new
Mm.
offer that is the program for other SLPs to now teach my class. So that's something else. But these classes, I just launched it, and I have a question. Don't you worry. This week I'm coming
I
with a
can't wait.
question. Yeah. But because it's not automatically happening, but I am like, don't do anything. We're gathering information. I'm gonna
Mhm.
ask Ashley. But it's true. Like you do have to kind of push through that learning and that uncomfortable part. And I think that's been the biggest. I mean, it's like a life lesson. I mean, I can't believe that yeah, that I had to keep going.
You had
I
to.
had to keep
And
going.
and at the beginning, it's the hardest part. I mean, it's the part where you're not seeing the results immediately. Even when I launched that, there's sometimes it's like it takes a little bit of time. You have to figure out what is the messaging and what is the targeting, what is the whole thing. And one of the speaking of messaging, you specifically said that was one of the more helpful pieces. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with their messaging. And I really do feel like we were able to like you were able to get clarity in how you communicate about your offer. And I mean, all we have is our words, and I feel like you've really figured out the messaging side. Like, was that one of your bigger takeaways?
Yeah, absolutely. The messaging was huge because I just couldn't Yeah, I just couldn't get my head wrapped around it. I like knew I'm like pain points. Like I had all these like buzzwords in my head and then I would
Yeah.
get to writing it and I, like you say, like I'm inside my jar and
You
that
are.
label's on the outside.
Yep.
And I was like, I just was like, I don't know. I know this isn't right. I'm like lying in bed with my kid, putting her to sleep every night, being like, uh, help parents learn how to, like, redoing it. I'm like, no, that sounds bad. But I also like, I'm very sensitive as a professional. Like, I'm just not, wa- my messaging is very, I feel like a very fine line because I will not guilt parents and I
Mm,
will not add to like anxiety. So it's like, how do I offer something that's like enriching and like can help their language, but without making it be this messaging that makes me my skin crawl? Because if it does that, then I'm just not going to do it. And you help me figure out how to find what like that true pain point was as opposed to like what I see, as like templates or something like that,
totally. I
Yeah.
really do. And I think that's one of the reasons people love you because you really did have such a way of saying, hey, if there's struggles with developing speech, it's not your fault and there's a solution. Like that's what you're there for. And you did a really good job of that. Um, Okay, so there was like a big win recently, and I feel like we have to tell everybody what that was. So the first part of it was you even taking enough action that you felt like you had this new offer you wanted to create. Can you
hmm
tell everybody a little bit about like what is this offer that you have now for speech language pathologist and how did you market it and what was this big win that you had that I'm just so excited for you to share because it's
I
just the
know.
beginning, but share it with us.
Yeah, yeah. So I had always had this in the back of my head, and yeah, it was something that was there. It was there. And then when I was in your program, I wish I could remember the actual moment. I think what it was marketing my other business because that was ready to market. I was ready to do my private practice with you, but that's not where my true passion
Yeah.
lies. So when I was putting all this work into the one, I was just like, oh, I really want to be working on this. So maybe
Mhm.
if I just get this offer together, I could be ready to go, you know, whatever by the end
Yeah.
of the time. So, anyways, so I basically have taken the curriculum that I teach and put it into online sort of course format, but it's basically a business in a box. So,
Man.
yeah, so all any speech pathologist now, or a line professional like a music therapist or even early intervention, OT, somebody who has, an interest and background in music, um, can now teach Happy Talk classes. So that is the curriculum. I have all the props and everything's all laid out. So you really don't have to do any of the work that really has truly taken me iterating for years. And I'm still I'm just like every time I do a class, I like ask for feedback and I
Yep.
usually change one thing every single time.
Wow.
So, so I've created this curriculum that they can teach and that's laid out for them. And then we have a really easy, quick to do website tutorial. So I just give them all of the images, all of the copy, just like trying to make this as fast and easy as possible to you, just to like get your class going. Um, there's some ads in there.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know how to market it too. So
Yeah,
now with someone searching like local song, classes for babies, like you know how to show them how to be there. It really is a business in a box. And you investing in yourself has made this offer even more valuable because
yeah.
now it's not only how to do it, like how to do the business, but how to market the business so you actually make money with the business.
Exactly. And like that's the thing, like me investing in myself, I'm like, well, I'm way more valuable now without this
Well, your brain
course.
changed. You literally have a
Right.
new skill.
Right. I did not have that skill before. I knew how to do one version of one type of ad.
I
That,
love when
yeah.
the clients that I work with, they feel so confident that about their marketing skills that they do feel confident in teaching it to others. Like
Yeah.
now for everybody listening, what Christina is not doing is like selling trademarked information. And I have to honestly, Christina, I haven't even told you this. I actually had to get a trademark attorney because someone did actually try to do this recently. I'm like, okay, so what you can't do is like take the whole training and try to make it your own and sell it and like tell, which is not what you're doing.
No.
Not what you're doing. Because I have actually a girl who has a branding agency and she offers ad services to her clients, which is brilliant. But like, so I had to say that
Yeah.
because some people are
No.
wild, but I wanted to tell you that like it is so valuable that you have the skill to help other speech language pathologists or whoever it is that does the Happy Talk
Yeah.
song and sign to be able to be found because like I would love if there was someone near me. Like I would do once a week, I would take Parker and we would go and it would be so cool for me to do it with him and to see the other babies. Like it's such a great experience. Like I love what you built. And so I just have this vision for you where there's like one in every town. Like there's a Happy Talk song and sign everywhere and you're in we'll look back at this podcast and smile. But Christina, tell everybody really quickly,
Okay.
what did you spend on your marketing and what did you make back on your first launch? Now, listen, everybody, Christina's going to change the price because as you just heard, this is compressing time and putting business in a box and marketing it. So she's going to change the pricing.
Yes.
But for this first round, tell them what you spent and where you landed with your sales.
Yeah, so I spent just around $1,000. And yeah, like you said, this introductory offer. So it was a $2,800 offer. So I have four. So I now have four Happy Talk instructors, and they are in the process of going through. So I made a little over 11,000 off
That's
of that.
awesome.
Yeah.
11 to 1 return.
Hmm.
Makes me so happy.
Yeah.
And obviously you hear 2,800 and I'm like, okay, that we are going to up it later. And I know you've got a wait list for the next round,
Yeah.
but what you have to offer is so valuable and you're getting the feedback from these people too, just to continue to make it better and better. Like this is going to be a big thing. And I'm just so proud of you. So my question for you is, what are your goals of the business now that you've had this first launch? Like what are your next marketing priorities and what are your goals for the business?
Yeah, that's a good question. So first off, I'm trying to fill my regular classes.
Fair.
I've got a couple classes, so that's my most immediate. And then I'm just so excited to help these four. One is in Alabama. You could take a little road trip.
Road trip. That's awesome.
So it's crazy. Texas, Alabama, Pennsylvania, and North Dakota.
Wow,
I
I
know.
love marketing. People can find you no matter where they are. I
I
love that.
know. I know. So cool. So anyway, so yeah, the goal is just to really use this time to help these people and figure out exactly what else they need to make sure it is like solid as a rock that we're like, you know, just
Yeah.
have this great, like it's such a great learning experience because now I have people to go through and just tell me, oh, this might have seemed, and so now I just want to fill it up with everything I can, and then I'm hoping to launch it again in the new year. I was going to do it a little sooner, but I think I need to just kind of make sure we can get everyone up and running so that that's I feel good about that. And
Yeah.
I've got a new set of classes actually that I'm creating right now that's going into that offer.
Ooh.
So I have to finish that and then yeah. So that's what I'm doing and hopefully get it to a point where it's doing well and that I can start feeling a little bit more balanced in my my work and my mom life. I definitely put a lot into it this last 6 months. Yeah. But I mean, I still, had plenty of time with my kids, but they would, they'll
I
always take
hear
more.
you. My
Yeah.
husband and I were talking about it last night. It's like there's times in your life where you're just pushing, but you're pushing for them and the time and the financial like blessings that will come and the fruit that comes from you impacting other people's lives will ultimately impact theirs too.
Yeah.
So and it's such a good example of you just going all in on something and
My
now you're gonna tell me.
my daughter, she's like so, I mean, this kid couldn't be more thrilled. She's just like, every time I was like, I sold it. She's like, oh my God, she's freaking out. She's trying to shake me down for money now. She's like, I could use 20 bucks, mom. I'm like,
Oh my gosh, mama made some money and she's like, "Hey
that's
mama."
right. What
Oh,
about that extra money? I'm like, oh girl, not yet, but well, but yeah, no, she's so, and it's such a great, I really feel like it's a very wonderful example to just be putting, like they see how much I love this, and then to see me kind of going all in on it. She's ready to take over, the older one, and I'm sure the younger one is too.
Perfect. When you franchise and there's hundreds of these, she can
That's
run
right.
the West Coast, she can run the East Coast. It'll be great.
That's right. It's perfect.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Christina, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You just, you're the person that this works for because you keep going, you take the feedback, you love what you do. You should just be really proud of yourself. Your kids are proud. I asked what your husband said. You said your
Oh
husband
yeah.
was proud.
Very proud. Yeah, he's the best. He's such a steady guy, just trying to he's got this wild wife always thinking up all these crazy ideas, but he's always supportive and he's really, really proud. I think he's just so happy to see me, get something back
Yes.
after so long. Yeah, yeah. So
No.
it's all good. And I just appreciate, you so much, and the feedback is just invaluable.
No.
It's just to be doing it by yourself is like I guess I've been listening to a lot of what you said today, but it's not
No.
fun. It's not
It's
fun.
not.
No,
And it
it's
doesn't have to be that
yeah,
way. And the thought of you considering even for a moment that you might not continue with your business before you give marketing, like you're all like like causes me physical pain. I'm like, I know. It's like you just want to be like, it's like if a child, you saw a child who was struggling with their speech, you would
yeah,
be like, wait, let me help because
yeah,
you know that you can help. And that's how I feel. And I'm just so glad that we
yeah.
found each other. So
And
yeah.
I don't even know if I've finished saying that, but yeah, I really was not considering it. It sounds so wild. I was not thinking about marketing. I was thinking about it in the way that I was running around and putting up posters and I, like putting my thing here and like doing some Facebook, not ads, post and be
Oh,
like, nobody signed up. Oh, that's so weird. I guess, guess it's not good.
that is like all joking aside,
Yeah.
someone listening right now will think, oh, it's just that people don't want what I have to offer. People
Yeah.
wanted what Christina had to offer. It's not about do people want what you have to offer? It's those people just don't know that you exist. These four people that did your offer, they just didn't know that what you had to offer even existed. And what's so
Yeah.
cool is some people are searching for something very specifically. You brought awareness of a solution they didn't even know was out there. That's even harder. And you did it. Like someone was like, thank God someone made this. They feel hope now because they have this new idea of something that they're passionate about doing, a new business idea. I just think it's so admirable. It's just so awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, if you are a speech language pathologist and you have an idea or want to work with Christina and are craving just a new way to generate revenue, Christina is your gal. So Happy Talk Song and Sign. You can follow her on Instagram. But yeah, just again, one of those stories where I'm thankful she found me. I think we're both mutually thankful that we found
Very
each other.
thankful. Yeah,
Very
really
thankful.
thankful.
Any last thing, Christina, before we go? If someone's on the fence of learning marketing skills, is there any last like little bit of encouragement you might give someone who's on the fence on like should they learn this themselves or should someone at least on their team learn this themselves?
Yeah, I can't say enough about why you should have this information. I can't believe how hard it felt because now I'll be running ads and I'll think to myself, am I missing something? This doesn't feel hard. Like this, you know what I mean? But it was
Yes.
really hard and I was always messing up the words and like and so this is a skill you can learn. And it happens
Yeah.
kind of, relatively quickly. You have to put in the work, but yeah, I just think, you really are going to make the money back because I don't know how else I wouldn't have made any money, frankly.
I love that you said that it's like it's honestly not hard. Here's what happens is it feels hard at your current skill level.
Right.
When people jump into the program, like, this is hard. And it's like, no, 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 it's just hard at your current skill level. Now that your skill level has evolved, you probably look at ads manager and you're not stressing out. You're like, you can click, you can go, you know what to do because you've just been in there and it's only been 6 months. We're not talking about 6 years and you feel confident. It's been 6 months and you feel confident now.
Yeah.
They're
And the
not,
part, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
So yeah, absolutely. I feel so confident in those ways, but the best for me is knowing that I have somebody who can take a peek and make sure that I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
Because, and with the market or the messaging too. Just being able to throw that out there to a group of people and have them say, oh yeah, that makes sense, or that doesn't, it's really invaluable. And it takes, it condenses time, but it really takes years off your life because it is so stressful to try and want something so badly and try as hard as you can, but not quite get there, you know?
Oh gosh, it's so discouraging. And that's one of the reasons I love. So, but for those of you listening, Christina is in the Marketing Matters Academy. And what that means is every week, Christina is in a room with me and other business owners just like her. And she gets to ask a question, she gets to learn from their questions. And then if she wants feedback from all these female entrepreneurs who are in the same phase, they're like, no, Christina, I wouldn't click on this ad. And here's why. And that's why Christina is like, that's invaluable because she doesn't have to spend money to wonder what works. Like we will all tell her, we don't like this. And here's why, try this. And just those little pieces of feedback over and over and over and over and over again, they add up. They save years off your life. They save money of you having to spend it, and it saves you time because you're not having to wonder what to fix later. You're fixing it now proactively. So, I mean, I know I'm biased because this is the Marketing Matters Academy that I created, but it is so special because you really are getting feedback from people who are actually going to tell you, ooh, I don't like this, or ooh, I really like this, and here's why.
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, I love my husband, I love my friends. I have super talented, amazing people in my life, like writers and artists, but they are not speaking the same language and they don't know, when I show them something, they just don't know. I barely know, but together, you
Together.
know, together we can figure it out. So it's
Right.
really, really helpful.
Gosh, I'm so glad, Christina. Well, I'm super thankful for you. I'm thankful for you spending time today. If you would like to reach out to Christina, do that at Happy Talk Song and Sign. And she's going to be pending travel. She's going to be in person at the Marketing Matters Summit in January of 2025. She may or may not be receiving an award on stage. We'll see. So little fun thing. There's actually some awards. There's going to be a lot of marketing awards for different clients, different wins, first launches, leads, and everything. But if you would like to surround yourself with literally hundreds of women who are in the same phase of life that you're in, and if you would like to meet Christina and give her a hug or a high five for her hard work, go to ashleybrock.com/summit. The link is below this video. And just like Christina, I want to encourage you today to have confidence in presenting your offer and marketing your business to the people that are going to be so thankful they found you, like those four women are
Yeah.
that found Christina's business. So, Christina, I'm so thankful for you and everybody listening. Can't wait to see you at the summit, and I'll see you on the next episode.